Like, I get ghetto.
People don't know
that.
Got a lot of pains, got a lot of FB on me. I gotta feel myself so far. Gotta feel.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Darian, aka LOL, not Darian, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Please subscribe, like this video, give me a thumbs up, and comment down below. I don't even know what to comment down below just yet. I'm so sorry, my cat is playing with her toy. First of all, let's get into the hair, okay? Let's get into the hair. Look at the definition of these curls, y'all. Sacred, you have found a new customer in me, okay? We are here for another story time. Thank you guys so very much for 200 subscribers. Oh my god. I can't believe it. I remember I was just at 150 back at the beginning of March, and now it is April 17th. It is now April 17th and I am already at 200 or surpassed 200 this morning. That is crazy. So thank y'all so very much. But let's get into this story time. I'm pretty sure I've told the story time up until this point before, but I'm not really fond of how I told story times before because I wasn't as comfortable in front of the camera as I am now. So I want to retell the story. This story time is going to be about the time I fought my ex-girlfriend. I had a friend, I'm not gonna give her a name because she is genuinely not relevant to the story at all whatsoever, but I had this friend, I had met her my 9th grade year. For some reason, second semester of 9th grade year, everybody who was in my biology class, some people got like split away from that biology teacher. Like it wasn't just my period only, it was like a lot of her other periods, they all got split down the middle to like make her class only half the size of what it used to be. And I think it's because her classes were pretty big. Like I think our class was a biology class of like 40. They made one of the football coaches start teaching biology, and so the second semester we all got split up and some of us got sent to the new biology teacher, and I was one of them, as well as the friend that I told y'all about. So when I got there, I was like, oh shit, I have a class with you. She was like, yeah, cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I said hey to her, and she's introduced me to one of her other homegirls that we will call Eeyore. So I like see Eeyore, I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. She's like, nice to meet you. And I will give y'all a description of Eeyore. Eeyore was this like shorter girl. She was like 5'5". And so like when I say shorter, take that with a grain of salt because I'm 5'3". She was 5'5". She had a sew-in, like a straight sew-in with like a side part. She had a big round fat face, big eyes, a button nose, and like these big old glasses, right? She always wore Jordans. She always wore Jordans and skinny jeans and a white t-shirt, that white or black t-shirt. That's what she always had on, right? You know, I said nice to meet you to Eeyore, and that was the start of our friendship. Me and Eeyore grew to be really good friends. Me and Eeyore, we were as close as school friends could be. I would also go to her birthday parties and everything, and that was just like our friendship. We were friends from 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, summer going into 11th grade. That's when she came out to me and told me, you know, that she was bisexual. I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know, good for you. 11th grade year, I had my awakening. I had my awakening, and it's so funny because my awakening works at my favorite bar here in Houston, and it's a lesbian bar, and so every time I see her, I'm just like, you just don't know what you were for me. But I had my awakening and realized that I was pansexual. That summer, going into senior year, Eeyore had a friend, and we will call her Melissa. Why not? Melissa and Eeyore have been friends since freshman year as well. They were friends like since the very first semester of freshman year. I didn't really have a problem with Melissa. Everybody would always be like, bro, I don't understand how you hang out with her. And the only reason I would hang out with her sometimes was because I was friends with Eeyore, right? So if I would go to Eeyore's house for her birthday and Melissa was there, obviously I'm not gonna just like walk out the fucking party or something. But like everybody would always say, Melissa is so fucking annoying. Even Eeyore used to say that, like, bro, she would be like, bro, I love her, but like that bitch is so fucking annoying. Like she's so fucking annoying. And like, I just be like, that's your friend. Like, you know, if you don't want to be friends with her no more because she's annoying, then tell her and stop being friends with her. That summer, going into senior year, Melissa had a boyfriend. I guess I have to give him a name too because he does come up in later stories. We will call him Vaughn. Sure. So Melissa had a boyfriend named Vaughn. So we have Eeyore, Melissa, Vaughn. That summer going into senior year of high school, Eeyore had decided, like she had been talking to a girl that junior year, and her and that girl fell off, but like she realized that she really liked girls a lot more than guys. So her and Melissa had a sleepover, I think, for Melissa's birthday, because yeah, I think Melissa was a Gemini. Melissa had all of their friends sleep over, including Eeyore, and at that slumber party, Melissa and Eeyore did what's the stereotypical thing people think girls do at slumber parties, which was they was bump coochies. So they started bumping coochies. Mind you, Melissa is with Vaughn. Like, she's in a full-blown relationship with him. She has been with him for like a year. All of that happened with Eeyore and Melissa. Eeyore's like telling me about it. Like, she's telling me bits and pieces about it. Like, yeah, no, like I like her, and I'm telling her, like, you know, you can't keep doing this to Vaughn, you can't keep doing this to me, like, you need to break up with him so that you and I can be together, and blah, 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 blah. Melissa's family was very homophobic. Like, they knew that the way Eeyore dressed, like, yeah, she used to wear, like, a little bit of makeup, like, she used to wear, like, eyeliner and, like, do her eyebrows and wear lip gloss, and, like, you know, she used to have sew-ins, but, like, from the neck down, she dressed like a boy, like, or a boy. She, you know, t-shirt, skinny jeans, Jordans on, always sagging. Like, so Melissa's family knew that Eeyore was a stud, basically. So they didn't like Eeyore coming around and everything. And even though Melissa liked Eeyore, she felt kind of like, I like you, but I can't be in a relationship with you. There are a lot of girls out there that are like that. Like, they, you know, if you're in the community, then you know what it's like. There's a lot of girls out there who are attracted to women and will be with a woman for fun, but would never be in a romantic relationship with a woman. And Melissa was one of those people. And so she kept saying, like, you know, I don't want to break up with him because I like just never wanted to be in a relationship with a girl. Ooh. Because that was going on with Melissa and Eeyore, Eeyore decided, like, all right, I'm done trying to be something with you. Like, you know, I feel like you're playing me, you playing in my face, like, I'm done with you, right? So around this time is when senior year was starting up. I could tell that, like, Eeyore was flirting with me, and I was digging it. I realized that I actually had a crush on her. And so she started flirting with me, I started flirting back, and that's when she told me, like, you know, I do kind of like you, and I would like for you to be my girlfriend. So I was like, you know, okay, cool, whatever. So we decided to get into a relationship, and it literally was exactly like that. Like, just one day she told me that she was attracted to me. I told her that I was attracted to her back. The next day she told me, well, I don't think we should do a talking stage because we've already been best friends for, you know, 3 years. It makes no sense for us to do a talking stage because we already know what you should know about a person when you get in a relationship. So I think we should just get into a relationship. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm down. So we got into a relationship, and that's how it happened. She was still friends with Melissa, and she was like, you know, that's been my best friend for X, Y, and Z long, like for almost as long as I've known you. Like, I don't want to cut her off, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, you need to tell her that, like, you and I are together, because I'm sure that she's still thinking that you're just mad at her, and, you know, that y'all are going to go back to doing whatever it was that y'all were doing, and that can't happen, you know? And so she was like, okay, like, I need some time to figure out how I'm going to tell her, because I know that she's going to be, like, upset about it or whatever. She told the whole friend group, but didn't tell this bitch. And, like, this, maybe she was a narcissist, because, like, the things that I think about, that I'm thinking back on, I'm like, yeah, like, she used to get happy out of, like, stirring the pot and then standing back and letting the pot just simmer. She was just such a weirdo. Like, I would see, like, a little smile on her face whenever, like, she was up to something devious and messy as fuck. She told the whole friend group, but didn't tell Melissa. And one of the friends in the group had asked Eeyore, like, oh yeah, like, so they all had choir together. They were, like, at choir rehearsal or whatever together, and one of the friends had asked Eeyore like, oh yeah, how are things with you and Darian? Melissa was like, what are you talking about, you and Darian? What is she talking about, you and Darian? And Eeyore was like, me and Darian are together. Melissa literally just like broke down in tears and like ran out of the choir room. Mind y'all, she is still in a relationship with Vaughn. She's still in a relationship with Vaughn. So she runs out crying and everything, and Eeyore is like telling me about it, and I'm just like, oh, maybe you should stop being friends with her. Like, if she's having this type of reaction, she's not going to stop until she gets back in a relationship with you. I was like, yeah, no, she's not going to stop until she's able to be back until she's able to get back with you. Like, you need to stop being friends with her. And she was like, no, I'm not going to. Like, and at this point, she wasn't even making excuses. She was just like, no, I'm not doing it. And I should have left then, but like 18-year-old me was like, 17-year-old me was just happy to like be in a relationship, right? And I was trying to be understanding. I'm not being understanding no more. I don't understand shit. I can't comprehend shit. Comprehension is gone. So fast forward to the next school day. I think that was a weekend or like a Friday. So the next, like the following weekday, so I think like, you know, the next Monday or whatever, Melissa and Eeyore had class together, and they would always sit next to each other in class in their first period. And Melissa's still like over there sulking and shit, and Eeyore had asked her like, you know, she was like, you know, I'm so sorry that like I didn't tell you before. I just knew that it was going to upset you. Is there anything that I can do to like make things easier for you, or like, you know, help you out in whatever way, help you feel better? And Melissa looked at her and said, dump her.
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
If you dump her, then I will dump Vaughn and you and I can be together. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted, right? You wanted me to break up with Vaughn and be with you. Okay, I will do that. Go break up with Darian and I'll break up with Vaughn, and then you and I can get in a relationship like you wanted from me. And at that point, Eeyore was just like kind of getting a rise out of it. I could tell, like, it just made her feel nice to know that like she had options, and you know, she was able to rub that in Melissa's face because Melissa thought that she was Eeyore's only option. And so Eeyore was like, you know, no, I'm not doing that. That's not fair to Darian. Like a whole bunch of bullshit. Eeyore remained being friends with Melissa, and Melissa just remained sulking all the time. And I was always forced. I wasn't like, nobody was putting a gun in my head, obviously, but like, because I was friends with Eeyore and Eeyore was not going to stop being friends with Melissa, I was always kind of forced to be around Melissa. And it was like exhausting because it was like, this bitch is in love with you. It's obvious that she's in love with you. She's always mean mugging me whenever I come around, even though I've been hanging out with y'all since I was a freshman in high school. Like, of course they weren't my friend group. They didn't become like my friend group until I started dating Eeyore. And even then they weren't really my friend group because all of their loyalty was to them. And it was obvious later on that all of their loyalty was with Eeyore. But that was like who I hung around because, you know, that's my girlfriend's friends. And because it was an abusive relationship, which I will get into later, I was being isolated from the friends that I had and constantly being made to hang around all of her people. Oh, that's something I forgot to tell y'all. So before Melissa and Eeyore even like stopped talking, or it was like around the time when like Eeyore was still like slowly cutting her off, but they were still like some sort of thing, there would be times whenever Melissa would see Eeyore hanging around me and she would like accuse her of being with me. And like being like, I know you like her, like I know you're gonna have sex with her, I know you're gonna kiss her, and like blah 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 blah, and like I know y'all are talking on the low and da 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 da. And like we literally said we liked each other, and then the very next day got in a relationship. So anytime leading up before then, nothing was going on with us at all. Like at all. We weren't holding hands, we weren't texting no type of way, we didn't do any of that. It was literally like, and we were together. I remember one time we were at a football game and we were hanging out before we got together. We were hanging out and I was sitting with Eeyore and or like Eeyore was sitting with me, but I was also sitting with Jaylee and some of Jaylee's friends. Because me and Jaylee, we would always go to the football games together. We would go to all the games together ever since freshman year. So This was no different. I was hanging out with Jaylee, and Eeyore came and sat with me, and Melissa was literally on the bleachers waiting for Vaughn to come and sit with her. And whenever Vaughn wouldn't be there, Eeyore would go and sit with Melissa, and sometimes Vaughn would be there and Eeyore would still be sitting with Melissa, and they would just be friends while he was there. And whenever he would go away, they would be like holding hands and shit. And then like basically Melissa had gotten upset with Eeyore about something, and so Eeyore got up and came and sat next to me. And Melissa got even angrier and was like, I know you're fucking her, like I know you're talking to her, and blah 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 blah. And Melissa was like, and even if I was, so fucking what? You don't want to be in a relationship with me because I'm a girl, so who gives a shit if I am talking to her, if I am doing something with her, because I'm single. I'm the single one, you're not. Technically, you're not even supposed to be mad at me for doing whatever the fuck I want to do, because you're not even supposed to have feelings for me. You have a boyfriend, leave me the fuck alone. I bring that up to say, this is another example of her literally just basically using me to get back at Melissa. And I didn't realize it at the time. I thought she was just like, you know, talking to me about it. But no, she literally knew that getting with me would hurt Melissa the most. So that's exactly what she did. And even when Melissa tried to like tell her like, okay, I get it, like I learned my lesson, I get what you were trying to teach me, like just break up with her so we could be together, Eeyore decided to stand 10 toes down and say, no, I'm not doing it, when I feel like she should have, because that would have saved me so much headache, like so much headache, so much heartache in this relationship. But Eeyore like stood 10 toes down and said like, you know, no, you chose Vaughn, so go be with Vaughn and I'm going to be with Darian, and that's just going to be what it is. Fast forward, me and Eeyore are together, and Eeyore starts telling me about how she is bipolar. She actually is diagnosed with bipolar depression. When I say this bitch was off her fucking rockers, like she was off her fucking rockers, she was out of her goddamn mind. She was literally like, she needed to be hospitalized, and she was hospitalized multiple times because of me. That sounds so bad, but like she, like the way she behaved was just not fucking normal, y'all. I remember one time, I'm not gonna get like too deep into it because obviously it's like some real dark shit. She would always tell me how she wanted to herself, right? It wasn't just her like trying to herself, but it was also a thing, or like saying that she was going to, but it was also a thing of like her trying over and over and over again. She would try, but at the same time she wouldn't really try. And I don't want like anybody who has been through this to like think that I'm being insensitive. It was literally a manipulation tactic because she was an abuser. Like when people talk about trauma bonding and they say like, oh, you know, don't make friends with people that you trauma bond with, and they mean it as in like, you know, oh, y'all went through the same shit as kids or something traumatically or traumatic wise, and so y'all are like bonding over that. That is not trauma bonding. I need y'all to understand, trauma bonding is an abuse tactic. It is not something that like, oh, both you and your friend got locked in the closet by your parents when y'all were 6 years old and now y'all are 30 years old bonding over that. No. Trauma bonding is like what my ex was doing, where put me in these traumatic situations that were caused by her, where she was clearly the person that caused the trauma, and then would use that as a way to make us closer, because only she understands what I went through, because we were the only two people that went through it together. We're both having to fight her demons. Like, we're both victims of her demons, and it's not just me going through some shit and she's putting me through this shit. We're both victims of it, and she can protect me from it, I can protect her from it. That is what trauma bonding is. And so she would do those things, and the reason why she would do those things is because of all the other horrible shit that she did to me personally. So she multiple times tried to, this is so triggering, so I might cut some of this out, but multiple times she would try to take my life, like over the smallest shit, y'all. Like over the absolute smallest shit. Like I remember one time, and I'm not gonna go too into detail because it is pretty traumatic and I might end up having like a fucking episode if I tell it too deeply. She loves the movie Dreamgirls. Like loves the movie Dreamgirls. I'm not a big fan. I'm so sorry, I'm not a big fan. I think the movie is entirely too long. I'm not really a big fan of musicals anyway, especially like black musicals. Not for any other reason than just like they drag it on entirely too long, and Jennifer Hudson was dragging them songs out for entirely too fucking long. And so I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I think Dreamgirls is like the movie Avatar, is one of those movies that you only really have to see once and you could admire the beauty in it, but be like, you know, once is enough type of thing, you know what I mean? And if you are one of those people that have to watch it like once a month or something, then you have the decency to watch it once a month on your own time and not force other people to watch it with you every single month. I was always at her house over the weekends because I felt like I had to be her keeper. Like if I wasn't with her over the weekend, she would literally do this shit where sometimes she wouldn't even attempt. She would write me a letter, like a note, goodbye note, and text it to me at like 10 p.m. And she would do this shit like not only on the weekends but also on the weekdays. Like it would be Tuesday night, I got school the next morning, she would text me that at 10 p.m. and it would obviously scare me because I'm like, oh fuck, she's going to, you know, not be here, like she's going to pass away, like oh my god. And so I'm freaking out. She would send that text message and then go to sleep. And she would wake up at 2 in the morning while I'm calling and texting and calling her mom trying to figure out what's going on. And she would pick up the phone at 2 a.m. and be like, bro, I'm not gonna do nothing, bro. I was asleep. Like, can you relax? Can you calm down? What do you mean? What do you mean? Can I calm down? Like that was like the type of shit that she would do, right? So when the weekends would come and her mom would always go to bed and she would lock herself in her room at night. So because it was so hard to get a hold of her mom and nobody else lived in the house because her older sister had already moved out, I would feel like I had to be there on the weekends to watch over her and make sure that like nothing happened. Literally 18 years old having to do this shit because I was just so scared that she would let the demons win and that would be that, right? And I say all that to say, I was over her house every single weekend and she would turn on Dreamgirls every single weekend. She would never watch Dreamgirls during the weekday when she was at home alone. She always had to watch it when I was there, knowing that I didn't like watching it. So I remember, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th weekend in a row, she had turned on the movie and I told her like, hey, you know, I'm not really in the mood to watch this right now. Can we watch something else? And she said, no, we're gonna watch this. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not really wanting to watch this, so I'm just gonna go, because we were in the living room. So I was like, I'm just gonna go into your bedroom and watch something on your TV in there. And she said, no, you're not. And I was like, why not? And I got up to go to her bedroom and she blocked like the entryway to the hallway to get to her bedroom. And I'm like, bro, can you move? Like, I just want to go watch TV. I don't want to watch Dreamgirls for another weekend in a row. I don't even like the movie like that for real, and you know that. I don't want to watch this. And literally, long story short, she tried to unalive me simply because I did not want to watch Dreamgirls. Swear to God. I swear to God. She would do all of that, and I'm saying all of this to say this, like all of this shit that she would do is why I crashed out later on, because it was like, you're doing all of this to me and the least you could do, be faithful. You know what I mean? So it was just like, fast forward, Melissa's still hanging around and everything, and I'm still just kind of annoyed at her presence, but I'm getting like, it's getting easier and easier to ignore her because Eeyore is not paying attention to her. So I'm just like, you know, whatever, like she doesn't want her, I'm not going to worry about a bitch she don't even want. Big mistake. Fast forward, there was one day where we had testing the whole day. We were doing the STAR test or whatever, and After like the STAR test is over, they make you go to your third period for the rest of the day. And the reason why they always make you go to third period is because third period is the period where they have the attendance sheets and they take attendance so they can make sure that you didn't actually miss school that day. As a senior, you don't take any STAR tests unless you just, you know, failed one of them. So usually, like, I'm pretty sure we were in like the auditorium the whole day watching movies and shit. And then at the end of the day, when everybody else was released from their classes, we all went to our third period. Eeyore had third period with some of their other friends and Melissa. Eeyore randomly texted me, tell me what she tells me, like, I need to tell you something. I'm like, okay, you know, what is it? She tells me that her and Melissa kissed. And I'm like, huh? Like, how did that happen? And I was like, how did that happen? And she explained it to me. I honestly can't remember the details. I think they were like in one of the choir rooms together or something. Eeyore and Melissa went into one of those rooms and they were by themselves and they somehow ended up making out. I think that's how it went. Honestly, I can't remember. All I remember is that they made out and I was pissed. And I was like, and for some reason I didn't just break up with her then. Self-esteem issues were not at an all-time high back then. And so I asked her, like, okay, so what are you going to do? And I was like, you know, we can work through this, blah, blah, blah. And she told me, I actually want to go be with her. Like, she's been wanting to get back with me. She's been wanting me back since we got together back in September. And I don't think it's fair to her that I keep like drawing it out like this for her. So I think we should end it here and I'm gonna like try and work things out with her. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because she actually, like, back when Melissa did tell Eeyore to break up with me and said that like she would break up with Vaughn, she actually did end up breaking up with Vaughn, and her and Vaughn were like on and off for that entire time. That's when she decided to make her move on Eeyore, and this move actually ended up being the move that stuck. So they started talking or whatever, and like for the whole week, literally, I'm just like crying and I'm like asking Eeyore, like, how could you do this to me? Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you know, asking for her back and everything, because I'm just like, bro, I can't let this bitch win. Like, what the fuck? I can't let this bitch win. And I was also just devastated because it's like, you literally dragged me to the bottom of the ocean and buried me in Mariana's Trench and then floated your way back up and went to fucking Hawaii. Like, what the fuck? You literally brought me to a place of depression that I had never been before. Like, I literally, up until this point, I had never like actually experienced full-blown depression. Like, I would be down sometimes, I'd be sad sometimes, but because of this situation, that was like the first time that I had ever experienced depression. Literally after that week of Eeyore being with, or like talking to Melissa, she basically tells Melissa, like, you know, I really did hurt Darian and I can't do that to her and I do love her, blah, blah, blah. She didn't love me, but I do love her and everything and I want to make things work. And so she ended things with Melissa after a week and got back together with me, and Melissa was pissed. She was pissed and she made it her mission to get my bitch by any means. I think how it happened was that it was a little bit after prom and a little bit before her birthday. Like the whole thing with Melissa. And the reason why I say that is because her birthday was coming up and I wanted to do something special for her. And it was like really awkward. It was a really awkward time between me and her, and a really awkward time between me and her friends, because her friends knew all the shit that was going on. They also knew that she was like doing what she was doing to me, and they just didn't give a fuck, which is why I was saying like they were not real friends to me, and I should have recognized that. But like my other friends, it's not that Jaylee, she like did not want to talk to me because I was going through this. She didn't understand it at the time. But like my other friends, I just felt embarrassed to like tell them about what was going on. So I just kind of like separated myself from them, because it was just like, it's a lot going on and I don't want to like be that dumb bitch in the friend group that like just can't leave somebody alone, you know? I just kind of like started separating myself from them, and I was just with Eeyore's friends all the time. And I remember her birthday was coming up, and so I was like planning her birthday and everything, and it was like a thing where I was planning it with her mom, and I had invited all of Eeyore's friends, and I told them Melissa's not fucking invited, and they were like, well, like, you know, that's not okay because like she's still friends with her, and I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm the one throwing the fucking birthday party. I'm the one buying the decorations and shit. Like, I'm the one planning it. She's not fucking invited. And they literally wanted Melissa to go so badly that they went and told Eeyore about the surprise birthday party I was planning for her so that they could get Eeyore to invite Melissa and say, I really want you to be at my birthday party. Can you come? I know Darian doesn't want you there, but it's my birthday party.
I don't even know what to say.
They went and told her about her surprise birthday party so that they could get her to invite Melissa. I was so fucking pissed. I hated all those bitches. I hate all the, if you're watching this, I hate every single one of you. Every single one of you. And y'all can all go choke and drown. Cause fuck you. It was like supposed to be a sleepover thing, right? And so Melissa came, all of the friends came and everything, and we were just having like a good time, and I was trying to like shut out of my mind that Melissa was there. It came time to go to bed, and Melissa kept saying that she wanted to sleep in the bed with me and Eeyore.
Oh, you sound like you slow.
And Eeyore was like, no, you're not sleeping in the bed with me and Darian. Why would you sleep in the bed with me and Darian? Why would you be in the bed with us? And she was like, because I don't want to sleep on the floor. And Eeyore was like, well, then you can sleep on the couch in the living room. And Melissa was like, well, no, like I want to sleep in your bedroom. Like that's why I want to sleep in the bed, because I want to sleep in your bedroom, but I don't want to sleep on the floor. And Eeyore straight up was like, well, I don't know what to tell you because you're not sleeping in the bed with us. And like literally she started throwing a fucking fit, y'all. Like she was good for that. And like that's why everybody used to call her fucking annoying, because she was like one of those girls that was just like, she thought that it was so cute to be babyfied at all moments of the day. She was either babyfied or she was a bitch, and there was no in between. Like she's over there throwing a fit, and Eeyore straight up was like, I really don't care about your fits that you're throwing. You're not sleeping in the bed with us, so I don't know what to tell you. And so Melissa fought tooth and nail, like, can I at least sleep in the bedroom with y'all? Like she literally was just trying to do that to make sure that me and Eeyore wouldn't do anything. And it's like, this is my girlfriend. Like we were back together at this point. It's like, this is my girlfriend. Why are you trying to make sure that we don't do anything? I was so fucking annoyed, because I was just like, bro, now I understand. Like you don't understand why everybody calls you fucking annoying at our school. This is why. Like look at how you're acting. So that whole thing happened. Melissa ended up leaving. Everybody left and everything. And unbeknownst to me, Melissa and Eeyore after that night started texting again. And they started like talking on the low, and I had no clue. And this is exactly why I didn't want her stupid ass at the fucking birthday party. This is why I should have left her ass like ages ago. But anyway, so she started talking to her again and everything. Like I think like 2 weeks later, I was at Eeyore's house, and it was Mother's Day. We had like woken up, and her family, like her mom wanted to go to like a Mother's Day brunch or whatever, and my mom and my grandma couldn't pick me up until later on that day. So I ended up just going with them to the Mother's Day brunch. And it was like, it was a cool time or whatever. It was my first time meeting like all of her family and everything, and it was cool, right? And we got back to the house. Her whole family is like congregating downstairs and everything. And my grandma told me that she would be by the house to come pick me up in like the next hour or so, right? Or I think like the next like 2 hours or something. Well, when my grandma says she'll be here, she'll be somewhere in an hour, she really means like 2 hours, because time blindness, black people, CP time blindness, right? So I'm like sitting in the bed with Eeyore, and I'm watching her play GTA. I don't know why I cannot think of that game. I'm like watching her play GTA, and she's like in this t-shirt, and she's sitting there like laying on her stomach, and I'm just like getting in the mood. So I initiate, you know, the sex and we get it on or whatever, right? Fast forward, after we're finished, I go to the bathroom, I freshen up, and I come back out, and then she goes into the bathroom. And at this point, I have like a habit of just picking up her phone and going through her phone, because she's already shown that she is a cheater and everything. So now I am like, I'm always going through her phone. I actually, like, at this point, I'm pretty sure I had put my thumbprint in her phone. And you know, people never really go and look at like who has access to their phone, like, you know, the thumbprints or the face IDs now. Like, nobody really goes and checks that. So I put my thumbprint in her phone when I figured out her passcode the first time, because I knew that she was, I knew that she was like one of those sneaky people that change their passcode like literally once a week. So when I figured out her passcode, I was like, I'm not losing access to this phone again. So I put my thumbprint in her phone, right? So I went and I looked through her phone, and I see a text to Melissa, and the text says, I'm wearing your shirt and it smells like you.
Oh no, this can't be.
I get so angry because I'm like, this bitch got me bent. I planned a whole birthday party for her, a whole surprise birthday party for her, that the only reason she found out about it was because her friends are stupid fucking bitches. I bought her like these gifts or whatever. I went and like printed out our little prom pictures that we took together and framed them. Like, I was so fucking pissed, y'all. I was so pissed. She comes out of the bathroom, and I had like already locked her phone and put it back and everything, right? And she comes out of the bathroom, and I look at her and I go, whose shirt is that? And she was like, why does it matter? And I said, whose shirt is that? And she said, I'm sure you already know whose shirt it is since you're asking me. You probably went through my phone, didn't you? And I said, whose shirt is it? And she was like, you already know whose shirt it is. And I said, take it off. And she was like, no, I don't want to take it off. I don't want to dirty up another shirt. And I was like, you don't do the fucking laundry, so why do you care? Take the fucking shirt off. And she said, no. And I got up, I went to her dresser. She was sitting on the bed at this point. I went to her dresser, pulled out another shirt, and I said, put it on and take that shirt off. She said, no. I balled up the shirt and I chucked it into her face, and I said, put the fucking shirt on. And she said, no. And so I grabbed the shirt. Y'all, can you imagine me crashing out like this? I grabbed the shirt from like the bottom of it, like, you know, where the waistline is. I grabbed the shirt like that and I start pulling it over her head. And I'm like, take it the fuck off. And she's like, no, bro. And she like pushes me. And so I push her back and I snatch the shirt and I literally rip it off of her. I rip the shirt off of her. And then after that, I go fucking ballistic. I start throwing her clothes around the room. Like, I get her fucking hamper and I was like, you worried about some dirty clothes? You worried about some dirty clothes? And I take the hamper and I throw the hamper all over the room, clothes all over the room. She has a gift bag, the gift bag that I got her, and there's like sour gummy candy in there. I take the bag and I just throw the bag like that, all of the candy and like all of like the other like miscellaneous gifts I got her, like the face mask and shit, all fly over the place. Like, I start just literally fucking up her room, right? And she was like, bro, stop. And she pushed me. And I was like, stop texting that bitch. And I push her back, right? And so she pushes me. And when she pushes me again, I stumble back and I'm like, I'm fucking over it. And I steal off on her.
Like, I get ghetto. People don't know that.
Y'all, I steal off on her. I start punching her and we start fighting, y'all. And I don't think, like, she was so shocked because she had never seen me actually get out of character like that before. And this was like truly the beginning of the end of our relationship, because it was just like, you have had me bent for so fucking long and I'm tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of it. Like, this that you got me in is like absolutely fucking not. And so yeah, we start fighting. I'm talking fist fighting. We fought. The craziest part about all of this, like I said, mind you, her family is downstairs. her entire family is downstairs in the living room having a conversation. And at this point, while we are fist fighting, like we're not just fist fighting in her room, like we're taking it from her room into the hallway, into the home office, like still fighting. And through all of this, my grandma had finally showed up. So my grandma is in the doorway talking to her mom, and they just hear us like throwing fists from one room to the next, and they're like, hey, what's going on up there? What's going on up there? She's like, nothing's going on. And we go into the office, and she like bear hugs me to get me to stop. And I'm like, I'm so fucking tired of your shit, bro. I'm so fucking tired of you, bro. And she's like, I know, like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck you. I was so fucking angry. Oh, I was so fucking angry. And I was like, don't ever talk to me again. And I went and I got my shit, and I packed my bag and everything. And her mom was like, what was going on up there? And I was like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, ooh, I almost said my grandma name. I told my grandma, I said, let's go. Like, we need to go now. We need to get out of here now. And we leave, and she ends up telling her mom everything that happened, and her mom banned me from the house for a month. That month didn't last long. I ended up right back in that house 2 weeks later braiding her hair. That is the story time about the time I squared up on my ex-girlfriend for having me so fucking bent. Like I said, this is going to be a series because there are many more stories about me and Eeyore, and there are unfortunately many other stories about me and Melissa. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's get me to 500, please. I think we could get me to 500 by the end of this year. I think we can. And comment down below if you can imagine me crashing out the way I did. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
It's been a lot of years, really think you didn't want past me. I gotta find myself out.